Hello, everyone. Once again, we are here and we are about to have a messy sort of evening. I am so glad you guys can all join me. I am so glad you guys could all take the time out of your day, your evening. I know some of you are staying up late to listen, so I will make sure I will keep it nice and concise and quick for those of you who are trying to keep your eyes open to watch this. I have decided, since Meghan has made more ridiculous comments about her so-called fake pregnancy, her faux pregnancy, I thought I should bring back the old school pic of Meghan and her cushion, since we need to discuss her latest ridiculous comments on the podcast that she has with Lemonada. My darlings, I don't know what to say about this raggedy trollop who thinks that we won't catch on to her lies, her nonsense, her BS. I think most of us know, and even the non believers are starting to, come around. They're starting to listen and understand why we are saying all this, why we are saying that Meghan Markle is never pregnant, because of the comments that she makes. Anyone who is actually pregnant would not be making the comments that she makes, because a part of me feels like she is doing this not only to be a pain in the ass to the royal family, because she knows that the public wants answers about the surrogate born children and why they are in the line of succession if they were never born of Meghan's body. People are questioning her, and she knows that the royal family won't say anything, so she just keeps on going on making these ridiculous comments that anyone who's had a child would know is not true. Not true at all. Koala Plus, thank you, my darling, for the super chat there. Love, messy, petty, and honest. Bring it on. Definitely. You know me, I love being honest. I don't sugarcoat it. And sometimes I don't know why the sugars call that bullying. Being honest is not bullying. I'm just saying, being honest is not bullying at all. We need to go back to the days that we can be honest to people. We can give them constructive criticism and they won't get offended. They won't get their panties in a knot over it. So let's discuss this. Meghan Markle's latest podcast had the woman that she had invested in her company. You guys remember Clever Blends coffee? It's that weird coffee made from like either mushrooms or who knows what. Okay, who knows what? Let me just take a sip here. So, Meghan Markle was an investor, and she prides herself on being an investor with this company. And I want to remind everyone that Meghan Markle invested in this company, which, let me just say that Hannah Mendoza, first of all, who is the CEO of Clever Blends, is the daughter of UK advertising giant Mark Mendoza. So, of course, Meghan is going to get herself involved with someone who has these sorts of connections. But let me also tell you, Meghan, whose podcast is all about female founders and women who founded their companies. Well, let me tell you, Hannah started Clever Blends with a guy named Roger Koppel. How is that for female founded? That is definitely not female founded if there is a man involved in it. But then again, this is Meghan we're talking about. So, of course, there's always going to be a man involved in everything that she gets involved in. So, here's the thing. Let me remind you guys, because I see you guys in the chat are mentioning it. There was something about the clever crap and slave labor in China or something. Well, the product that was being the milk, the powdered milk that was being produced for coffee was being manufactured in a business area that had connections to the tragedy with the Uyghur Muslims or something. It was had something like that with the Uyghur. I know you guys will bring it up in the chat now that I've mentioned it, but it had something to do with the genocide of that group of individuals, and they wanted to get rid of them. Uyghurs, yeah, yeah, it's like UGHY. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So let me show you guys here. You know what? This is going to bother me if I don't pull it up. So let me pull this up and I'll show you guys. Okay. Um, mm, Clever Blends Coffee. Let me see. Okay, so this was from, let me show you here because it was going to annoy me if I didn't pull it up. And you guys know that I love showing you guys the proof. So this was um, April 4th, 2021, Meghan Markle's wellness coffee tied to Chinese state accused of genocide. So this was Meghan Markle's money is behind a trendy instant coffee that she touts for its ethically sourced ingredients, but the company has previously received tens of thousands of pounds of oat milk powder from a business in a Chinese state accused of genocide, a new report claims. Clever Blends one-time oat milk supplier Xinjiang Hinyan International Trade was located within 4 miles of suspected detention centers, including an alleged re-education site. So this the thing that I have an issue here is that this powdered oat milk that they were receiving from some state in China, who knows what was in it? Because technically, they don't really have to declare what was inside the items. Yeah, you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. You are meticulous. Look, when I'm like a dog with a bone, I need to show everything. It's the OCD side in me that everything has to be shown, everything has to be proven, everything has to be in its place. So let me show you. There was a notice filed about Clever Blends coffee, and it was a 60-day notice violation that was filed in August of 24th of 2021, and it was pursuant to California Health and Safety Code 25249.5. So it was to Hannah Mendoza, and this was from, they CC'd the California Attorney General's office and the city attorneys for San Francisco, San Diego, and basically all California counties. So basically, it said to let them know that Safe Products for Californians is noticing entity acting in the interest of the general public. It seeks to reduce or eliminate the presence of hazardous substances in consumer products sold in California and to ensure that California consumers are aware of the presence of such substances in consumer goods so that they can make an educated effort to limit their own exposure where deemed necessary. And then, so basically, they did a test with their products, and the product that they did a test with was, let me tell you here, absolutely disgusting. So product exposure, it was C section V. I put the tabs in my Twitter, but basically they had tested their super latte, and there was a listed chemical of, they found traces of lead and lead components, and the route of exposure was obviously through ingestion, and the types of harm was birth defects and other reproductive harm. So they were given a notice, and clearly they had to take their products off the market. And then they had to obviously reinsend in their products for testing before they could have it back out, before they can have it back on their shelves. The fact that Meghan Markle is always getting involved with disgustingly shady businesses, shady companies, Is this what a person does who claims that they care about other people, that they want to poison their own customer base, that they want to make them sick and ill? I would never, ever purchase a thing from Meghan Markle. And it's just like her spreads. When you receive her spreads, it's been mentioned by many people who have ordered it. You don't even know where the spread was manufactured. She goes to lengths to not, most places, many places, you look at any jar that you pick off the shelf, you will see where the product was manufactured and where it was distributed from. Whereas with Meghan Markle, because she is such a sneaky, shady shyster, she is hiding that information. So, seriously, I'm still waiting to get my hands on a bit of this jam so I can send it to a lab and have it chemically tested to find out exactly what is in that product. Because it is absolutely like if there was lead in this product and Meghan Markle had no problems throwing her money behind it, then what is there in her jam? It would be absolutely gross, I bet you, the things you could find. And that's just my opinion. That's just totally my opinion. No, darling, no, Phoenix. We definitely don't need to spread her spread or pour it on her toast because who knows what kind of venereal diseases one could catch or some kind of super spreading new um, I don't know, substance disease. Who knows? Gross. I wouldn't even touch that stuff with a 50-foot pole. Leslie Warren says, great work, Molly. Thank you, my darling. I make sure that I always have all the information out for you guys here. But the thing that really boiled my piss is that every time Meghan Markle wants to make a comment about her alleged pregnancy, she should know that like a panther walking through the sharp blades of grass, I will be there to pounce on her bullshit. I will be there to pounce on her lies about her faux pregnancies and her nonsense. Because in her latest episode of her podcast, Meghan was supposed to be, interviewing this Hannah woman and getting advice from her. But of course, it was all about Meghan Markle. And Meghan makes an admission where she talks about medicinal mushrooms while recalling her pregnancies with Archofficial and Invisibet. Yeah, a pregnant woman using medicinal mushrooms, right? Get your barf buckets ready, my darlings, because I'm about to play this clip and we're about to hear the nonsense that she said.
Sounds like you really had almost this alchemy process. We all do. I think in that age, that 18, 19, early 20s, it's such a pivotal part of it. I think the exploration of honestly, Hannah, what it means to become a woman and also to make.
So was Meghan Markle at 18, 19, 20, 21 doing all her explorations of what it means to become a woman? Does that mean that she was extra slutty or what? Just wondering. Oh, hello, Leilani's in the chat here. Says, hey, by the way, I'm getting loads of spam emails after trying to order. I've done nothing else different, but I'm getting spam asking me to click a link. I just delete every few hours. Guys, that is proof that Meghan Markle is selling your details, your email addresses to third-party providers to send you their crap and their so they can send you their links to your email. Thank you, Leilani, for giving us that bit of information. That's amazing. Thank you. And you know what? There was someone else on Twitter that I saw earlier who was talking about how their friend ordered some jam off of the website. I'll go right back, okay? Yes, do not click. Definitely do not click. Just delete it. She said that her friend had ordered some of the jam from the website, hasn't received the jam, but it's charged her bank account. And when her friend reached out to the company that is dealing with the money and the transactions and everything, because remember, she's using a third-party provider to do everything for her. They say that now they allegedly cannot find the transaction and they cannot give her a refund. I've said to people that if you are receiving that kind of message from the company that they cannot issue a refund, then contact your credit card provider, contact your banking institution, and have them reverse the charge on the basis that it is a scam. You haven't received your product, they've charged you for the item, and you haven't received anything. So that's what they are doing. Koala Blues asks Leilani, are these spam links sending you to her site or where she is selling her used clothing? That's a good question. That's a very good question. Let's see if she answers. But let me get back to this, okay? Let me share the rest.
Mistakes, to figure them out, and to get to the other side of them. So you get on the other side of the pond, you come.
I wonder what that means, mistakes to figure them out. Does that mean you had a couple oopsies and maybe have had to send a little bit of couple unborn fetuses to the early graveyard? Is that it? I haven't clicked. I'm too afraid. Yeah, exactly. Don't risk it. Don't click it. So, yeah. Good job. Just delete it. Don't even click it, because the minute you click on it, it's going to fill your devices with cookies. And what it does is that those cookies track everything that you do. So basically, whatever apps you access, it can see everything that you are doing. If you access your banking information online or on your devices, it can see and copy everything. Yeah. Sage the phone, girl. Sage the phone. Let's listen to the rest of this nonsense, because you got to listen to this crap that she says.
Out here, you meet a whole different vibe and energy around you, and you start hiking and you start seeing the world through a different lens. And then what happens?
I mean, within a year of being here, I'd moved into a house of 11 women who all had their armpit hair intact. The house was strewn with these kombucha scobies growing from jars, and we were doing plant meditations. We were making herbal tinctures.
Girl, you were living in a house full of hippies that love to do their right? Like, come on. That was the crew you were in.
They started surfing, and my idea of a big night out after a year in California was a potluck that ended in a sing-along. It was no one wore makeup, everyone worshiped nature, and God, it's such a trope, but it did change.
Can we just sorry, I need to stop this, because Hannah's trying to push this thing like nobody in California was wearing makeup, nobody was doing this. I mean, people wear makeup down there. I mean, Hannah wears makeup. People in California aren't hippy dippy, yeah, ding dong for sure. Ding dong for sure. But this whole where we just don't wear makeup, we hug each other. It's not like that down there. But anyways.
My life. And I felt what it felt like to actually feel good in my body and my mind. And I'm sure, it can be a little eye rolling, but I did feel like a different person.
Oh, God. So basically, Meghan opens up in this podcast and she says that she's basically opening up about the unconventional wellness rituals she embraced during her pregnancies. In episode 5 of her podcast, released today, she says that she worked with an Ayurvedic practitioner while pregnant with Archie and Invisibed. Meghan said the experience reshaped how she viewed wellness, explaining, during my pregnancies, I had an Ayurvedic doctor, and so much of it was about seeing food as medicine. And she continues on saying she made remarks during that chat with Hannah Mendoza, the mushroom latte company Meghan invested in, discussing the now trendy use of adaptogens. Meghan said, I think a lot of people, when they hear mushrooms, they go, okay, she's talking about being hippy dippy. If you aren't familiar with adaptogens, you can go to this place of ooh, it's feeling a little psychedelic and super woo woo. She added that these ingredients have been used for generations despite today's stigmas. Somehow you say mushrooms, and now people have a connotation attached to it. Okay, let me just stop it right here because, in my opinion, this does nothing but just show Meghan Markle of being nothing but an addict, a drug user, someone who likes to use her substances, in my opinion. Because let me explain this to you, my friends. I went to the lovely AI called Gronk on X here, and I just asked him some very, very simple questions. Okay. And my first question was, what are adaptogens? Explain in simple, easy to understand. And Grok says, adaptogens are natural substances, usually herb or plants, that help your body handle stress and stay balanced. They work by supporting your body's ability to adapt to tough situations like physical or emotional stress without getting overwhelmed. Think of them as helpers that help calm or boost your system to keep you feeling steady. So, for example, when you're feeling stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol. Adaptogens can help regulate these hormones so you don't feel too frazzled. They might give you a little energy when you're feeling tired or help you relax when you're anxious. Common adaptogens include ashwagandha, often used to reduce stress and improve energy, rhodiola, which helps with focus and fighting fatigue, ginseng, which helps boost energy and support immunity, or maca, known for improving mood and stamina. Now, it also says that in simple terms, adaptogens are like a thermostat for your body. They help keep things just right by tweaking how your body responds to stress. However, they're not a cure all, and their effects can vary from person to person. Always check with a doctor before using them, especially during pregnancy, as they might not be safe for everyone. And there is a disclaimer saying that Grok is not a doctor and please consult with one. And I am going to also say that as a parent, I am going to suggest that nobody ever takes any kind of advice or listen to any of this bullshit that Meghan Markle is spewing out on her podcast, because it is highly dangerous. And every time Meghan Markle opens her mouth and vomits out some kind of bullshit, it just further proves to me that she was not pregnant, because no pregnant woman would put them at risk like that, especially when it's your first child. You do everything to be extra careful. And cool kids irrelevant, thank you, says keep up the great work, Molly. Aw, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a red flag. But let me also show you that every time Meghan Markle wants to claim that she was pregnant, I'm going to continue on reminding you guys of this. Was Meghan Markle pregnant, right? I don't know about you guys, but I have never, ever, ever seen a woman with a pregnant belly growing out of her rib cage. Have you ever seen that? I never seen a uterus. I mean, I thought babies grew in your uterus. That's where mine grew, but never out of my rib cage. And just imagine, if you were actually that large, that huge, you would have weight all over. Your titties would be 3 times the size. They would be massive, but not Meghan Markle. She wants us to believe that she had preeclampsia and she never had any swelling beforehand or anything like that. I 100% believe that she took some kind of steroids or something to make herself look puffy after the birth of whenever the stork dropped off artificial. But personally, myself, I don't believe Meghan Markle ever gave birth to Archie, that they are surrogate children. And I feel like she knows that she can keep pressing this button because the royal family won't say anything. They won't say anything about it. First of all, to all the ladies who have been pregnant, did your belly wobble and wiggle to and fro like a bowl of jello like hers did here? You can clearly see the moon bump swinging to and fro, swinging back and forth. Her hips go to the right and her belly's going to the left. I don't know about you guys, but when I was pregnant, my belly, if I moved to the left, my belly went to the left. If I went to the right, my belly went to the right. It wasn't the opposite way, in and out, the other way. I mean, look at this. Look at this here, where you can see her sit down and you will see the moon bump completely collapse here. Watch this, darlings. Uncrossing her legs. Crossing her legs like she's Sharon Stone. Look at that. Look. Where'd you bump go? I mean, let me just slow it down. Yeah? Let me just turn off the sound. But look, you see her have her own little Beyonce moment. And she did this on International Women's Day. Meghan Markle attended this at the very last minute as a representative of, because she was co-chair of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, because Harry was chair and the Queen just allowed her to become co-chair. They gave everything she wanted. Amir Haswan says, I'm sorry, as a medical professional, I always have a problem with people promoting pseudoscience. How is that not misinformation? Doesn't she care about that kind of misinformation? Does she? Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Thank you. Round of applause for you. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for mentioning the obvious. And now we have a medical professional in the chat who is asking the questions for us also. This is ridiculous. Meghan is going to sue Mole for defamation. I'd like to see her try. Media Magazine, I don't know if you're lost here, but I'd like to see Meghan Markle try to sue me for saying that she was never pregnant. I would love to see her prove me wrong. I've been asking her to prove me wrong for the last 5 years and nothing. So let's see what happens, okay? I mean, look at this. I don't know about you ladies, but my bump never folded. You literally see it fold in half right here, okay? And then you get, look at this. I feel sorry for the women in the front row because they just got an eyeful of Meghan Markle's beef taco flapjack lady lips right when she opened her legs to cross them here. These women in the front row got a full-on eyeful of Meghan Markle's lady vagine parts. Disgusting. She let those beef flaps air out in the wind. If anyone was that pregnant, you would not be able to cross your legs in that sort of tight manner. Okay, those beef curtains were out for everyone to see. Look, straight up the vagine. And now she's showing us her legs and everything. This is the woman who claims she's a feminist. Oh, kids are relevant. I love you guys. I love everyone. Hudson, I remember when I was pregnant, once I hit like the 6-month mark, if I tried to even cross my legs, it literally feels like your vagine is on fire. It literally feels like you're having a cramp. It doesn't feel good. It hurts. Oh, you want to see the bump that inflated? I have that too. Let's get a little bit messy before I go, because guys, we all know Meghan Markle was BSing. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, but anyone who wants to use adaptogens or anything like that, please go and see your doctor, because you could really, really hurt an unborn fetus, okay? Like for instance, ashwagandha, I'm reading this from Grok saying that if you were to use it while pregnant, it can act as an as an abortifacient. So basically, it can increase your risk of a miscarriage, and that is recommended to avoid during pregnancy. It can also stimulate thyroid activity. And then rhodiola, it can affect fetal vascular development. And echinacea could cause concern for fetal safety. These items that you would use if you weren't pregnant is not something that you would use pregnant. And the fact that Meghan Markle mentions all of this is just like, you clearly weren't pregnant. You clearly weren't pregnant because all of these items would have caused a miscarriage. You definitely can't breathe. It definitely hurts. It feels like you're pulling your vagine. But let me get messy here, okay? Because if you go onto X, okay, and if you put in the search engine, let me show you guys here, Meghan Markle Moonbumps, you will see an entire Rolodex of Moonbump information that I have been posting for a long time on this site. Let's get into some of them here, because since Meghan Markle wants to abort a you know what? My English is not Englishing tonight. I don't know why. So but I so appreciate you, Grace, for telling me explaining how to explain it and how to pronounce it. Some days my English is totally like ESL some days. But thank you. I totally appreciate you. But let's get messy here. Let me show some of Meghan's moon bump moments, because I showed you this one where it is folding. I showed you this one recently where you can literally see the outline of her moon bump right here. Especially, you can see the belt outline here. I don't know about you, as a pregnant woman, I never had a crease or like an indent or anything like that on my belly. It was smooth because, my skin went over my stomach. So remember, there was this. I don't know how many times I need to show you guys that Meghan Markle was not pregnant. Definitely not pregnant. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I took my eyes off of the screen for a second. There we go. Now let me keep on scrolling, because I have a lot more here for you guys. Here's another one. This was when Meghan Markle was in Birkenhead. This was when she was telling everyone she was 6 months pregnant during this visit, okay? And let me remind you guys, you guys saw my thumbnail. You saw the photo of her when she arrived and the photo of her leaving. You can clearly see that there is no bump. I don't know about you, but my bump never ever went missing, ever, nor did it ever go flat. I felt like a stuffed sausage when pregnant. Honestly, the last few months, or like when I got closer to the due date, was the worst, because you felt like you couldn't breathe. You felt like your baby was sitting up high until they dropped, right? And it just felt like you had the worst acid reflux too. That's how I felt. I definitely felt like Jamie Kern Lima and a stuffed sausage, like maybe a 10-pound sausage stuffed into a 5-pound casing. That's what I felt like until I finally gave birth. But look at this in Birkenhead. She was walking around with a massive bump, and then all of a sudden, where did it go? With her knees right together, going all the way down. Where's Archofficial? Where is he? Where is he? Where did he go? Into your spine? Oh, of course, really. And then watch, she'll pop back up without any assistance. Did you guys ever notice that during the entirety of all of Meghan Markle's pregnancy, Harry never assisted her getting up or down? This is what she always did. This is why people always questioned her. Where did he go? Where is your oh, and in massive heels. Where is your bump, lady? I thought you walked out with a huge belly. What happened there? Remember this thing? Where did the dodgeball go? Where did the ball go? I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Try being pregnant with twins. It was miserable. I had to go through summer heat with a huge belly. Girl, I feel for you. I really have respect for a lot of women who had more than just one. Me just being pregnant with one, it was a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And this one is the ever famous footage that was found by, let me remember, hold on, Family Farkle Wars. Okay. They were the original individual who pointed out this clip of Meghan Markle's moon bump actually popping. And you will notice when it does pop, you'll see it actually pop outwards and she places her hand onto the belly. Watch. Oh, did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? Let me rewind it. Let's go back. You literally see it pop back out into place. You cannot tell me that these women didn't notice. You cannot. Even the dog was afraid of her. Look, dogs are usually friendly. This dog wanted nothing to do with her. Look at his ears. His ears are down back. His tail isn't wagging or anything. This dog knows something's up. He's afraid. Totally afraid. Look. Dog wants nothing to do with her, man. I'm telling you guys, they knew that thing you guys hear pop. I know that there are a lot of people that are just joining my channel and they haven't seen this footage, but here we go once more and I'll go to the next one. And look at how high. Look at how high that bump is. That thing is growing out of her ribs. Unless Meghan Markle thinks that her uterus is located in her ribs, clearly someone missed out on human anatomy classes. Maybe they were too busy getting, I don't know, banged in a filing cabinet in one of their, I don't know, closets at school. Who knows? Here is Meghan again in Birkenhead. So watch as Meghan takes the attention off of her deflating moon bump, because remember how big it was when she arrived? It's starting to deflate at this point. And instead of the focus being on the charity grocery shop that they're visiting here, which should be the focus, which helps feed the community in Birkenhead, Meghan makes it all about her belly. Watch what she does here. I don't know about you, but I've never had a fold right here in my belly ever. Like, my clothing always was very smooth over my belly. But watch how she pushes herself forward because she has to bring herself towards the camera, and then she sticks her belly out. She knows the camera's on her. She knows the camera's paying attention to her. Look, come on. The camera literally, look. Goodness. Goodness. Coat flick. No, you see how, okay. The thing that drives me nuts is that there's something called etiquette. Could you imagine going and like standing in front of someone who's trying to explain something to you and they're doing the bloody coat flick and they're standing with their hands on their back like, oh, I'm so pregnant. I got to stand here with my hands on my back for help. But you freaking loser, watch. And then you got Harry. Look at the stupid scowl on his face. Just a miserable cow. Look at this moon bump. This moon bump is way too high. Look at how high it is. Guys, literally put your hand underneath, okay, if you're not wearing a bra, if you've taken, ladies, if you've taken your boobs out and are letting them relax for the day, like just place a hand underneath your breasts. That's where your rib cage is, right? That's where Meghan Markle's moonbump belly was growing out of. Now put one hand all the way down where your uterus is located. That's where it should have been growing out of. This is ridiculous. Let me show you something. Let me show you a couple more examples. Look at this one. This one, she does a full squat here. This woman, watch this woman. This woman's wondering, what the hell? Where did your belly just go? Watch her face, watch her reaction, watch the way she is, her eye is on Meghan's belly, her high up belly.
God, I understand.
The,
What was it like having made you be able to support
look, it's like completely squished in. No belly, no hard belly would squish in like that into your spine if you were actually pregnant. Molly, show the video of Harry pushing the button on the doll to make it move. Let me find it for you. I'll end off the stream with that one. How about that? Deal? I'll end off with that one. That will be the icing on the cake. Oh, this was one of my favorite ones. I don't know if a lot of you seen this one, but remember when Meghan Markle gate crashed her way as the presenter to the 2018 UK Fashion Awards? So at this very moment, Meghan was walking, because we all know how she likes to take those very long strides when she's walking. She's a short woman. She's 5'3", but she likes to take a stride like she's 6'2", okay? And when she takes her long stride, watch what happens. Her moon bump shifts and then she starts limping. So I think something happens, and to keep it from falling down, she starts holding it, because remember there was all the awkward photos of her double hand clutching the bump. Watch this. Here, let me make the screen bigger. Watch. Let me pull it. There we go. So something happens here. Watch, something happens here when she steps down. I think the moon bump slips and she has to catch it. Here. Do you guys notice that? Do you guys notice how she's walking funny because something happened to the bump? I think maybe it shifted or something. And if you're pregnant, you are not taking steps that big. You got a bit of a waddle going on. You definitely are not. Is that why she had to hold it the whole time? Yeah, that's why she had to hold it the whole time, because when she was doing her long walk with her big ass strides, I think maybe the bottom snapped, or something of her suit that she was wearing underneath snapped and fell out of place. But yes, that's why she was clutching it. Yep. Let me show you another one. There's that one. Oh yeah, here. This is with Meghan pretending to be pregnant in Montecito with a massive belly. It looked like she was carrying quadruplets in there. She could have even rivaled Octomom. And there's no swelling or anything. And she just bends at the hip with no help. Watch this. It is absolutely ridiculous.
And, separate little bags we can divide and
Look at how big this woman is. Look at how big this thing is. Like, what'd you do? Stuff a watermelon underneath that shirt?
divide and conquer.
Hi, Grandma. We decided what the course is going to be.
Did you guys notice how Harry says, "Hi, Grandma," and Doria pays him complete dust? Doesn't even pay attention to him at all. Complete, doesn't even say hi to him. But like, "Hey, Ginger, dumbass." When in reality, Doria, the only reason you're in this house is because Ginger, dumbass.
Grandma, we decided what the course is going to be.
I think what makes the most sense is to have them start right here.
By the bridge, yeah.
Yep.
So down that side,
Let's go side.
back across the bridge, then up this side of the stream to this little bridge here. Correct, I love it. Done, easy. That's why we're married.
All for that.
The simplicity, really.
The simplicity. That's why we got married. But that's why you've been a miserable oaf and whining for the last, like, how long now? Look at the size of this thing. Look at the size of this thing. It is freaking huge. Okay. Now, let me show you what they do. Look at this woman. This lying, raggedy trollop, and with all
on,
with
family.
bare feet.
Let's go.
Disgusting. Disgusting. Listen to Harry. Sounds like such an idiot.
Come on, family. Let's go.
Come on, family. Let's go. Neither of them respond to him. They don't care about him. Let me tell you, this is not realistic. People in California, people anywhere, when they go into their backyard, they're wearing outdoor slippers. They're not going out there with their bare, nasty ass feet. The chat is crazy, y'all. You guys are going nuts in the chat here. But watch this. Look at this. She's just, okay, look at her spindly legs, her chicken feet. Did you see how huge her stomach was? But not an inch, not a bit of swelling at all. Nothing at all. And bending at the hip, right? Look at how she bent over. Yeah, right. Look at this. No help. No pregnant woman would be bending at the hip like this. With that size stomach, it wouldn't be happening. Not at all. Not at all. What a load of cockamamie BS. This woman thinks that hat is as stinky as Harry's stupid necklace. I agree with you. Guys, like, this is wild. This is why I will constantly bring up the fact anytime Meghan Markle mentions her pregnancy, I will be right there to bring up the fact, no, you raggedy, lying, untalented trollop. This is why you never became an A-list celebrity in Hollywood. This is why you never got past the role of giving BJs in 90210 and opening briefcases and taking off your clothes and getting banged up filing cabinets and suits and stuff. This is why you never got far in life, because you are a shitty actress. You suck at lying. You're a bad liar too. Terrible liar. What else? Oh, look at this one. When Meghan Markle showed up in a skin-tight white Calvin Klein dress and her moon bump was completely off center. Watch this. I mean, her belly is right here. I don't know about you, but my belly stayed centered, especially my belly button. It wasn't off center. Well, look at this. Look at this is her belly button right here to the side. And you can once again, see the outline of the prosthetic clearly because she always wore skin tight outfits. Look at this thing. What the hell is that thing? Completely look. It's like to the right. This guy can't even look at her because everyone's like, what the hell is this circus? Ridiculous. Absolutely redonkulous, don't you think? Don't you guys think? I mean, how many times do I need to bring you guys and show you videos of this happening? This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, let me find the image of our dear, dear friend, Harry, poking his hand into the doll known as, oh, wait, I got to show you these two. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. This was only supposed to be 30 minutes, and we've gone a little bit over. If you guys are okay with that, let me just show you this, because remember when Meghan Markle went to New York for that ridiculous baby shower? Where's her moon bump? The night that she was using the bag to conceal her pregnancy bump, and the night that she was out with Marcus, she had no belly strapped onto her. But the next day when she was leaving, all of a sudden she had a massive belly. And look, it's Harry's #1 security guard in the back, David Langdown. I bet you he knows everything about the moon bump and which ones she had with her on vacation. She totally took it off openly to drink at the club, 100%. 100%. He knows it all. Okay, so there was that, but also let me show you this one because I have posted so many amazing footages. Look at this. First of all, her bump is all the way coming out of her ribs once again, and not her uterus where a baby would be growing. And look at, where did Archie disappear to? He's gone again into her spine. I also find it very, very rude that Meghan always likes to kneel in this manner in front of people that are in wheelchairs. It is so rude to do that, to kneel like that. Like, just stand up normally and just talk to them like a normal person. You don't need to crouch down like that. But that's Meghan for you. That's Meghan for you. I've got all the Moonbump details. I've got all, like, I can go into Moonbumps for days on end. And anytime Meghan Markle brings up her raggedy pregnancy, every time she makes up a lie about being pregnant or taking some kind of medication, yeah, right. Let me show you this one. Here you go. I got to make a video about this because you guys remember this is one of the moon bumps that I've purchased. I know that some of you guys have been wondering about that moon bump video that I've been working on, but let me tell you, it's been a process with lawyers because I don't want to get my ass handed to me. And I've been cutting back on using my lawyers so much because, well, with inflation, my bills have gotten high and life has just gotten a little bit hectic. So I've kind of put the video to the side right now, but once I reconvene with my lawyers and make the money to pay them to, get the approval, because, I don't want to get my ass handed to me. I want to put out something fun for you guys. But anyways, it will get out there. I feel like in the world, everything will happen when the time is right. And I feel like when the time is right, that's when the video will come out. I feel like the world, the universe is waiting for the stars to align and for the video to come out at the right time. That's what I feel. That's what I always think. But let me find, oh, this was with the white dress, right? I've got so many receipts. Look at what happened to the moon bump later on that evening. What? How? Women, people in the chat, to those that are watching this on the replay, to those that are watching this a little bit later on, did your moon bump ever shift like this? Did that ever happen? Yes, I'm definitely being careful, that's for sure. Did she purposely gain weight after the birth? Oh, she is a method actress now. Well, personally, myself, I think maybe she took some kind of steroid like prednisone or something just to give herself a little bit of that puffy look going on. But that's what I think. And now let's find the footage. Oh, the ever loving coat flicks. You guys, I'm telling you, like, I've had so many footage. Just go to Twitter and look up Meghan Markle moon bump, and you will see the crazy amount of stuff that I have posted about this. Now, let me end off on the video that our dear friend asked about Harry pressing his thumb into Archofficial and looking for the button. Because if I remember, it was this. I don't have the actual image, like video, but I do have this where Harry is pressing his thumb so hard into this newborn doll that we are supposed to believe is a real child named Archie. He is pressing so hard that his thumb has turned white. Look at the color difference between his thumb, the tip of his thumb, and the rest of his hand. Do you know how much pressure you need to be pressing onto this doll to get some kind of reaction? If this was a child, they would have made some kind of noise. And on top of that, every single mother knows that the top of a child's head, newborn skull, is very soft. And Meghan Markle, what was she doing? Rubbing the skull, the top of the head of the baby. Yeah, any mother knows that you would not do that. They know all this. This is ridiculous. But in the words of Jamie Kern Lima, I've got full body chills right now. This is so amazing. I can't believe they're getting away with this. But anyways, my darlings, look, I just wanted to be a pain in Meghan Markle's ass because at the end of the day, anytime Meghan Markle is going to bring up something about pregnancy or something that she has done or that's something she did when she was allegedly pregnant with Archofficial, well, guess what? You weren't. You were not. And I will be here to constantly bring up the fact that Meghan Markle was not pregnant because, like I've said, I was pregnant at the same time as Meghan Markle, and I did not have a shifting bump. My bump did not grow out of my lungs or my rib cage. And also, I could tell you, and I could still to this day give you an exact like countdown of everything that happened during my pregnancy. My story will always be the same. My birth story will be the same. My over 19 hours of labor and then emergency C-section story will be the same. My mother being there the entire time from the start to finish. Like, there was a moment that I wanted nobody around me except for my mother. And the fact that Meghan Markle did not have her mother, Doria Ragland, there to the birth, that is a huge red flag. Let me, for our next live, my darlings, I'm going to grab the footage where before when Harry and Meghan enter the room, you can hear the photographer say, "That's the kid," like really clearly. So at the end of the day, I am always going to bring this up. I'm going to be like a dog with a rabid bone, and I'm going to keep bringing it up that the fact that Harry and Meghan did not give birth to a child. I will never understand why Buckingham Palace allows this to go on. I will never understand why the palace allowed them to present a doll to the world and make us believe, thinking that we will think that it was a real child. Really? Yes, really. I'll pull up the footage and you guys will hear it. It is absolutely crazy, and I will play it for you guys in the next live. But for now, I got to get going. I got to clean up around the house here. I got to fold some laundry. And this mama has to pack because she has some business to get along to. And I have a flight tomorrow morning to catch because this mommy has some work. So she has her other business to tend to, not my YouTube business. But my darlings, I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for getting petty with me. Thank you for allowing me to discuss Meghan Markle's disgusting flappy meat curtains. Thank you, Gigi, for the super sticker. Thank you, Maria, for the super chat. Says, don't waste it on edible flour sprinkles. I'll try not to, okay? Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, mods. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll try and do the live in the next couple days, but if you guys don't see me here in the next couple days, I'm just going to be busy with my business and just getting some affairs in orders, but I'll try my best to come on. But if I don't see you, I will see you in the next one. Make sure you have your notifications on, and I will catch you real soon in the next video. Toodaloo, darlings. I hope you all have a good one. Bye.